Okay, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everybody to Hollands Mill Park. And thank you for coming out on this potentially precarious weather day. And I know it's a little natty, so bear with us. We've been asked to keep our speeches short, and we're going to do that. We really appreciate you coming out to help us celebrate this ribbon cutting for the Hollands Mill Canoe, and we're calling it landing. Not launch, not put in, but landing, canoe landing. So Hollands Mill Park Canoe Landing. My name's Jennifer Jones, and I'm the Director of Lynchburg Parks and Recreation. And I want to take a moment to recognize a couple dignitaries and special guests that are with us today. And first of all, I'd like to introduce Turner Perot, Lynchburg City Council member, and he's going to say a few words here in just a few minutes. And from James River Association, previous City Council member Joe Seifert. And from James River Association and Friends of Lynchburg Parks and Recreation member Rob Campbell. Thank you. And I also want to mention our partners in park and trail maintenance and operation, Public Works. We have with us today Gaynell Hart, Director of Public Works. Give us a little hand wave, Gaynell Hart. Clay Simmons. And Jerry Whitmore. And I'm going to let Andy talk a little bit about who actually spearheaded some of the parts of this project. So thank you all for helping us make Lynchburg a great place to play. And now I'd like to introduce our Park Service Manager, Andrew Reeder, who will discuss the impact and the history of this project.
Matter of getting my glasses either far enough away or...
No, get it right up to your mouth, Andy.
Okay. All right. Well, good morning, folks. That's better. In 1934, the city plans called for a city park to be built along the Blackwater Creek above Hollands Mill. Langhorne Road land use study noted the potential for Blackwater Creek basin, stating that this would be an ideal setting for an elongated park. And in January 1970, the city acquired a second sizable tract, and this was in addition to a northwestern right-of-way between Langhorne and Hollands Mill Road. By the end of 1970, at the behest of the Planning Commission, the city was actively pursuing plans for a linear park. In 1974, with a grant from the Virginia Commission of Outdoor Recreation and approval of the Lynchburg City Council, Phase 1 of the Blackwater Creek Natural Area Project, which included a land acquisition between Hollands Mill and Old Forest Road, construction of a paved bike and trail, foot trails, signs, and creek crossing began in earnest. In 1979, that amounted to 2.5 miles of trail, right here. But today, Lynchburg boasts over 38 miles of various trails. So you can see we've come a long way. But trails and greenways are only half the picture. Lynchburg is also blessed by an abundance of water. Today, we might be cursed. Blueways are another feature that we are planning on in the future. And this canoe landing is the first step in a network of connected blueways, access points on the Blackwater Creek, and we hope other regional bodies of water as well, such as the James River. And just as the Blackwater Creek had Ed Page to wrangle for its completion, we've had Joe Seifert tirelessly advocating for a safe put-in for canoeists here at Hollands Mill. And I mean tirelessly, folks, so that families could learn how to paddle or fish and one day take out after a 5-mile trip from its upper reaches. So while there are many people to thank here, the first big thank you goes out to Joe Seifert who truly made this small but important project happen. So thank you, Joe. This project was done on no budget at all, and it was done in-house. So I would be remiss not to thank Parks and Recreation staff for all they do every day to make this kind of stuff happen. Great job, folks. But I also want to thank our partners, Building and Grounds, personally, because they are often overlooked, and they are partners in everything we do every day in our parks, and sometimes we forget to say that. So I want to personally thank Chris Vaughn, Tracy Jackson, Keith Allen, Alan Scott, Tyree Price, Mike Baldwin, Mike Taylor, Carl Word, Jonathan Harris, Jerry Whitmore, Clay Simmons, and Gain L. Hart. Thank you all very much for everything you do, not only in this project, but all the other stuff you do every day. Thanks, guys. So, this is just the beginning project, and most of it's underwater. You can't see it. So you look at it, you go, what's there? Well, it's these huge blocks. So instead of just stepping off into the water and forever sinking up over your head, there's blocks like stair steps that when you step out of your canoe, you're standing on something, and then you can step up on the bank and grab a rope and haul yourself up. And then, of course, we put cut-ins into the fence and a trail so that you can easily access it. But this is just one of what we hope are several access points, including the Langhorne Road at Farm Basket, the Blackwater Creek Athletic Area, maybe Hill Street, and of course we're working on something down at the confluence with the Blackwater Creek and the James River. And again, we hope that this is the first of many, along with rain gauges and other things that encourage getting outside, enjoying the outdoors, part of our Blue Ways program that matches our Trails program here in Lynchburg. Again, I'd like to thank all the participants, but especially Joe Seifert, who made this project happen. And I mean made it happen, so he did a great job. Thank you, folks. But the next part of our program, I want to turn things over to Joe, who's going to say a few words.
Thanks, Andy. You know, any project begins with an idea. Let me tell you a little bit about this project. In late 2012, I ride the bike on the trail, and I saw this guy fishing up here. And I says, there's nothing up here. What are you doing? And he says, come on down here, get over the fence and look and see what's here. And there were some smallmouth bass I could see in the clear water at that time. And I says, that's very interesting. So I got a hold of Kimball Payne, who was also a river rat with the James River Association, and he was city manager at that time. And I says, Kimball, get your canoe, come on down here, we're going to explore this stretch of water. And he goes, well, what do you want to do that for? I says, well, there's fish in there. He goes, no, there's no fish in there. I says, you come on. So he did, and we put in on the sandbar up there by the dam. And I had 2 rods with me. He had none. He was not a believer, right? So we went up a little ways, and I pulled a nice smallmouth in. And he says, hey, you think I could borrow your other rod? Well, being a fisherman, I thought about that a long time, finally gave it to him, and sure enough, he pulled one out up here. So we took some photos and said, wouldn't it be nice if people could put in here safely and go up 3/4 of a mile to the falls, and then come back, take out, maybe a Saturday or Sunday afternoon with their kids, a little water safety. It's a safe waterway here. You don't have to go down to the James where it might be a little bit rougher. So it sort of laid there for a while, a long while, until Jenny came to town back in February of 16 at the Museum Foundation board meeting. I think I mentioned this to you. And then she got Jason Berger and Andy and Clay Simmons together. We had a meeting, and we got some designs from the James River Association. But this is pretty much a homegrown design here, specifically for this. We had a bit of a problem with getting in and out of the canoe or kayak because there's a drop-off. And after many meetings, on site. Rob was here. Rob Campbell was here. Pat Calvert was the former Upper James River keeper. He helped a bit. We have a safe put in and take out now over here. But you know, this isn't about me or even the higher ups in the organization. We've mentioned those names. Of course, this could not have been done without Clay Simmons and Andy Reeder. They were the operations people that made this happen. Over on the public works side, you had Jerry Whitmore and Chris Vaughn, Tracy Jackson and Keith Allen. These are the guys who went into the water and did a lot of the stuff. Okay, they did the grunt work. And same with the recreation side. Charlie Ewell was here from the start. Howard Covey, Don Baker, Drew Fontaine, and Matthew Hobie. So this is really a celebration of what the city employees have done, working across departments, and the citizens of Lynchburg who may be watching this at home, and you guys show this many times during the course of a month or two, you need to realize that the folks that work for you in these departments really collaborate. And it was a joy, quite frankly, working with you guys, Andy and Clay. They returned phone calls. I mean, it was just a super job. Now we hope that people come down here and enjoy this stretch of the water, and that's what it's all about, just having fun on the waterway. With that, now I'd like to introduce one of our council members. Turner Perot represents Ward 4, and he was nice enough to come out here this morning and join with us. Turner?
Well, good morning to everybody. It's great to see everybody out here today on this fine day, and I'm Turner Perot. On behalf of the mayor and the rest of City Council, thank you for your fine work regarding this, and specifically thank you to the operations team, Andy and Clay. But I would like to say, I believe that we have really seen a renaissance in our parks program, and that's due to the leadership of Jenny and your key staff members. It's really something that we're seeing in our parks. There are more opportunities for our residents to come and play in our park system. So Lynchburg really is a great place in which to live, work, and play. And as I was thinking about this, and this is really near and dear to my heart, as the first blueway, or the start of a blueway in the city. I grew up in Amherst County on the James River. So I grew up smallmouth fishing and looking for places to put in. And one of my most fond memories growing up is waiting for my dad to get home on a summer day. He'd come home, hopefully it was before 6 o'clock. We'd grab something really quick to eat and then load the canoe up and jump out on the river and go fishing until it got dark. And it was a wonderful time. And now our city residents have that opportunity right here. Now, I want to go back a little further, and we've talked about how it's certainly an effort from Parks and Recs and Public Works to put this together. But when I was also young, I played around Lynchburg a whole lot. And I had many friends in Lynchburg. I went to Lynchburg City Schools. And we used to play down on Otter Creek and at Blackwater Creek. And a day like today, with as much rain as we've gotten, the water smelled awful. It absolutely smelled awful. And it's because of the in excess of $200 million that the city of Lynchburg spent on the combined sewer overflow projects throughout the years, the interceptor projects, the Blackwater Creek interceptor, the Ivy Creek interceptor project, and then the neighborhood CSO projects that have kept sewer from overflowing into our creeks. And now, as Joe said, the fish are back. They have revitalized and restored themselves, as nature will do over time. So this is really, it's been, yes, a project over the past couple of years to get done and planned, but it's really been over a decade in the making to get these creeks back up and to their natural beauty and viability. So I'm just as thrilled as I can be. Thank you for inviting me to speak. And again, on behalf of the mayor and city council, thank you, all of you, for your efforts to make this happen, especially also you, Joe, and the James River Association, your guidance here. This is fantastic. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Perot. That exceeded all expectations. That was unexpected. And so we have some details about refreshments.
Got them right back there.
What do we have?
Hot dogs and chips and water. And
hot dogs, chips, and water, so help yourselves. We've gone all out. Oh, I'm sorry. And the ribbon cutting.
Oh, we do that. Okay.
And the ribbon cutting. Everybody smile. Look at the cameras. 1, 2, 3.
Here we go.
Somebody pick this up.
Yeah.
For posterity.
No one brought a
Yes.
canoe.